Hey there everybody, this is the Ultimate Skyrim pre-installation tutorial video. This is a really quick video that's going to show you everything you need to do to prepare your system for an Ultimate Skyrim installation. It's really easy, it takes no time at all, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you are operating on a brand new, fresh Skyrim install. What this means is that you do not have a pre-existing installation, you have completely deleted all files related to Skyrim on your computer. I will show you what that looks like right now. So I've just re-downloaded Skyrim through Steam. You can see I'll even jump right here. This is my Steam apps folder on my other hard drive, my common folder where it shows all my games. Skyrim is right here, and this is what it looks like. This is a fresh Skyrim installation. All of these files are files that are included with Skyrim Legendary Edition out of the box. There should be no files in this folder that you do not see here. The other area to check for a fresh installation is in My Documents, specifically Documents My Games. Normally there would be a Skyrim folder in here, but there is not because I deleted it. It's a fresh installation and we have not even run the game yet, so there is no Skyrim folder. So if this is what your two folders look like, you are good to go and you are ready to start messing around with this stuff. So the first thing that we're going to do is launch Skyrim once. We're going to go ahead and launch skyrimlauncher.exe right here. Steam will take a quick second to launch the Elder Scrolls Skyrim. It will actually come up with the proprietary launcher that Bethesda included with the game, which I often forget about, but it's a cool little thing. It should auto-detect our hardware and attempt to set up our graphics based on what it detects. There it is. Skyrim will now detect your video hardware and set video options accordingly. Go ahead and click OK. Video settings have been set for ultra high. It really doesn't matter what it says here. My system is pretty decent, so it's automatically defaulting to ultra high, but no matter what yours says, doesn't matter. Go ahead and click OK. You're going to click play. It's going to pop up Skyrim, everyone's favorite game, the Elder Scrolls Skyrim, and everyone's favorite game studio, Bethesda Game Studios. I know that's not true for many of the people in the community, but I love you, Bethesda, and I know many of our users here do too. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and pop down here to quit now that we've run the game once. Any unsaved progress will be lost. That is perfectly fine. And now that we've run the game, you can see we have a Skyrim folder here in My Games in Documents. I'll show you what that looks like just for edification's sake. Right here we got Skyrim Ini, Skyrim Prefs, Render Info, Saves. Saves should be empty. Oh no, there's some in there. That's weird. Oh, maybe it synced some of my saves with the cloud. Doesn't matter. None of this stuff matters. As long as that folder is there, you're good. Okay, so now the heavy lifting, so to speak. What we're going to do is install a handful of utilities that Ultimate Skyrim needs to function. So what we're going to do that is go back into our root folder here. We're going to create a new folder. We're going to call it Utilities. We're going to pop inside here. Now, there's only a handful of utilities that we're going to need to install. I've provided links to all of them in the description below, but to save time, I have all of them already kind of up and ready to go in my internet browser window here. So the first thing that we're going to want to install is the Skyrim Script Extender. This is SKSE. You might have heard of it by that name instead. Without getting too deep into it, SKSE basically adds a bunch of new scripting functions to Skyrim's scripting engine, which allows more complex mods to kind of work their magic. So what we're going to do is click the 7Z archive right here. This is build 1.7.3. We're going to click it. It's going to download right there. We're going to open up that download. Here you can see SKSE 10703, and we're going to go in there. And here's our SKSE files. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into Utilities, and we're going to make a new folder called SKSE. Boom, just like that. We're going to open up that folder, and we're going to drag and drop everything from the SKSE download into this folder. Just like that. There it is. Now, keep in mind, this is not installing SKSE. The reason that we've done this is to provide ourselves a backup of the SKSE files in case something goes wrong or we need them for whatever reason or we accidentally delete them in the actual installation. This way we have a nice backup of our files. So while that's still highlighted, go ahead and hit Control-C to copy. And now we are going to go back into our root folder right here. It should look like this, and you are going to paste. And it's going to go just like that. So just like that, SKSE is installed. Now that we have successfully installed SKSE, we are going to download the next utility that we need. Let's go ahead and close that out. And that is the SKSE plugin preloader right here. So once again, you can find all the links to these utilities in the description for this video. So the SKSE plugin preloader, the long and short of this utility is that it allows some functions of SKSE to load before the game starts. So go ahead and click download manually for the D3DX9_42 wrapper v3. Man, that is a mouthful, isn't it? Go ahead and download that. We're going to open it up, and it's only 2 files. Really, it's only 1 file. This is just a README, but we'll grab that anyway. So now we want to go back to our utilities folder, go back to SKSE, and we're going to drag and drop these 2 files into that folder as well, just so we have a nice extra backup copy. Once again, go ahead and hit Control-C to copy, go back out to your Skyrim root folder, and Control-V to paste, and bam, you have successfully installed the SKSE plugin preloader. We can close that. Look, you've already made it through 2. I told you it would take no time at all. Now, the third thing we need to install is TES5 Edit, which is a really, really awesome program for editing mod files and doing really all kinds of stuff. But I won't bother to get into that with you now because you don't really need that information. So what we're going to do here is download not the latest version. I'll explain why later. But we're going to download TES5 Edit 3.1.3 right here. Go ahead and download that. Wait for that to download. Open it up just like this. Boom. So there we go, TES5 Edit. So this one, we're going to go back to our root folder, back to our utilities folder, and we're going to make a new folder. This one will be called TES5 Edit. I'm going to click there, then we're going to grab this download, copy everything from the download, and drag it right on over. It's going to copy. There it is. Now this one, we're actually done. We don't need to do anything more with that. It's good to go. There's number 3 down. So go ahead and close out that window. And now we need Mod Organizer. This is the big one. This is the big bad boy. Basically, Mod Organizer is an alternative mod management program to Nexus Mod Manager. Both are wonderful programs, but Mod Organizer is much better suited to large modded installations like what we are doing here. So you want to go ahead and go Mod Organizer 1_3_11, not the installer version, but this version, and click Download Manually. That will pop up here. It'll start to download, and once that finishes downloading, we will open it up. Okay, now that Mod Organizer is finished, let's open that file up. You can see what we got to work with. Mod Organizer, here's the whole installation. So what we're going to do is go back to our utilities folder. We're going to make another new folder, just like this, and we're going to call it Mod Organizer, just like that. Go ahead and open it up. Take your Mod Organizer files, select them all, just like before, and drag them, drop them right in. Might take a quick second longer because there is more files, more data to transfer, but not too long. We can go ahead and close that out. Once again, we are done with that installation. That one, we don't need to copy anything else anywhere. We are good to go. So now, that's almost everything we need to install, but what we need to do now is actually fire up Mod Organizer and get everything ready from within Mod Organizer. Go ahead and run it. Right here, it'll ask you if you, or at least if you have Windows 10, it will ask you if you want to open the file. You can uncheck this box. I always do, so it won't constantly bring up this tooltip whenever you want to run Mod Organizer. Go ahead and run it, just like this. It'll pop up saying you are starting, message of the day. What is it? Bug tracker and code repository, etc. None of this matters. Go ahead and dismiss that. It's going to ask you if you were starting Mod Organizer for the first time. Do you want to show a tutorial? Yada, yada, yada. We can go ahead and hit no for this, or if you'd like, you can hit yes and it will walk you through some stuff, but if you want to kind of keep along with this video, I recommend not doing that. So I'm going to uncheck always ask before opening this file. We're going to click run, and boom, this is Skyrim Mod Organizer. I'll explain each of these panels and everything in depth later, but it'll probably just be confusing for right now, so we'll keep things simple. What we're going to do first is create a new profile for Ultimate Skyrim. What I will say is that the big difference between Mod Organizer and Nexus Mod Manager is that Mod Organizer operates through what's called virtual installs. So it never actually installs any files to your root folder. It just applies them virtually whenever you start the game, and whenever you end the game, it removes them virtually. That's a pretty basic explanation. This way, you never accidentally overwrite mod files or have to re-download mods like you would have to with Nexus Mod Manager. It's just a very nice, non-destructive, well-organized way of doing heavy mod lists. So what you're going to do is go to, it operates through profiles, which is really nice because it allows you to have different profile setups for different mod configurations and whatever. So what we're going to do is go to this drop-down menu here, Profile, and we're going to click Manage. and we are going to click Create. And we're going to create a new profile and call it Ultimate Skyrim. Hit OK, and then hit Close. Now we want to make sure we switch to that profile. Right there. Cool. So now we have our Ultimate Skyrim profile. Now this leads us to our last download that we need, and that is the Ultimate Skyrim INI files. These are INI files that I have created that I recommend for Ultimate Skyrim. You can see it right here. We're just going to click this nice download button, and it should give us a nice little rare file. There we go. Now, if you are familiar with INI files, you know that these are files in which you have a little bit of wiggle room. These files determine some of the graphical settings in-game, and they can be adjusted if you need better graphics or if you'd like to do worse graphics and maybe gain some frames per second. All of that stuff you can do with the Skyrim INI files. These are just baseline examples to use that I use in my own Ultimate Skyrim installation. So we're going to keep that right here. In fact, I'm actually going to minimize Mod Organizer here. So we have these nice side by side. And what we're going to do is edit our INI files for the Ultimate Skyrim profile configuration. So you go to Tools, this little puzzle thing over here, and you're going to go to INI Editor, and you can see your Skyrim INI and Skyrim prefs.ini. These are default right now, and what we're going to do is replace them with my INI configurations. So you're going to go to Skyrim.ini, we're going to open that up. You want to do is right-click, select all, go ahead and hit Control-C to copy. We're going to go back into Mod Organizer, and we are going to do the same thing. We're going to right-click and select all, and then paste. So now the Skyrim INI in our Ultimate Skyrim profile matches the Skyrim INI that I have provided. We're going to do the same thing. Well, let's go ahead and click Save. It will always, if you try and exit this window without saving, it will always warn you, so don't worry about that. Go to SkyrimPrefs.ini. We're going to close Skyrim.ini, open up Skyrim Prefs. Same thing. We're going to right-click, select all, copy, Control-C, go back to Skyrim Prefs. We're going to right-click, select all, delete that, and paste the new version. So now we have the new versions of Skyrim INI and Skyrim Prefs. Go ahead and click Save. You can close this window. Boom. So now our INIs are properly configured. This leads us to the final step in our pre-installation, and that is cleaning our master files. The master files for Skyrim and Skyrim's DLCs that Bethesda have given us do have some errors that normally wouldn't cause any problems, but can start to cause problems if you install mods, and that's obviously what we're doing, so we gotta clean those. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna maximize Skyrim Mod Organizer. I'm gonna explain this drop-down very quickly because it's very important and it's really, really cool. So what this drop-down is a list of executables that you can launch from within Mod Organizer. You can see by the drop-down that Mod Organizer has automatically detected SKSE, which is really, really cool. For reference, this will be how you launch the game from here on out. You should not use Skyrim or Skyrim Launcher. It's just included those in case you don't have SKSE. And Mod Organizer is really cool because it will auto-detect SKSE and default to that. And what we're going to do is add a new program to this list. Go to Edit. We're going to add TES5 Edit, which we downloaded in the third step, I believe. So what we're going to do, we're going to go to Title. I'm going to put TES5 Edit. And we're going to go to Binary. This is where it's asking us to define where the executable that we want is. We're going to go back to Utilities. We're going to go to TES5 Edit. And we're going to select TES5Edit.exe. Bam, boom, click Add, and we are good to go. We've just added TES5 Edit to the list of executables. So we're going to click TES5 Edit. We're going to click Run. And it'll pop up here. Now it's asking us which plugins we would like to load. For the sake of cleaning our masters, we are going to select None to start with. And what we're going to do is go through each of these files that need cleaning one by one. That means Update, Dawnguard, Hearthfires, and Dragonborn. However, we have to do them one at a time or else we can cause pretty major problems. So for now, just check Skyrim and Skyrim and update.esm, click OK. It will load those two files really quickly. When there's only two files, it's really not that tough. And what we're going to do, we have our three plugins over here. We're going to right-click update.esm, and we are going to apply filter for cleaning. What this will do is apply a filter that TES5 Edit can use to clean the not-so-great errors that might occur in update.esm. So we're going to right-click. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to remove identical to master records. This is the first thing that we have to do. This warning will pop up. You are about to edit a module file. If you have the slightest doubt, blah, blah, blah. We know what we're doing, so that's okay. Go ahead and click yes. And as you can see here, removing identical to master records done. Processed records 1290, removed records 96. That's awesome. So that means that it removed 96 identical to master records that really won't cause that many problems. Identical to master records are not a huge deal, but it's nice to get rid of them anyway, just so you have a nice, organized, clean installation. The real kicker is this guy. Undelete and disable references. So we're going to right-click update.esm, click undelete and disable references. And as you can see down here, process records 1194, undeleted records 3. So these are actually a big deal. If a mod tries to reference one of the records that was formerly deleted, you can see it undeleted it through that process, that will crash your game. So we really do not want these. They're gone, and we're good to go for update.esm. So go ahead and click the X, close that. It'll save changed files. Go ahead and that's fine. Down here, backup plugins is something you'll probably want checked. What that will do is save a backup of the original version of update.esm. If for whatever reason you want to revert or redo it, you can do it that way. So click both of these, then click OK. Okay, now that we've cleaned update.esm, we have to do the same process for Dawnguard, Hearthfires, and Dragonborn, at which point we will be done with this tutorial intro video. So let's go ahead and run TES5 edit again. And we are going to deselect all of the boxes, just like last time, select none. This time, we are going to select Skyrim, Update, and Dawnguard, just these three. Go ahead and click OK. It's going to load up those 3 files, in addition to the Skyrim exe up here, so I guess technically 4 files, but that is exactly functioning as intended. This time it will take a little bit longer, because there are more references to load, but now we have all the files we'll need. So same thing, you're going to right-click dawnguard.esm, you're going to apply filter for cleaning, and there we are. So we can see here that Dawnguard, we have some red background colors. All of these colors mean something, but it's really not all that important. So we're going to ignore that for now, and we're going to right-click. We are going to remove identical to master records, just like last time. Yes, I'm absolutely sure. And as you can see here, it's processed 98,000 records and removed 630, so quite a bit more this time, which makes sense because it is a DLC file. So we've done that. We're going to go here. We're going to undelete and disable references. It's going to process that. Warning, plugin contains 57 deleted nav meshes, which cannot be undeleted. That's perfectly fine. You can see right here, process records 97,000, undeleted records 82. So this is a really big deal. This is going to add a lot of stability to your installation. We are all done there. Go ahead and click out of here. Both these boxes checked, dawnguard.esm and backup plugins. Go ahead and hit OK. And we are done with Dawnguard. Now that just leaves Hearthfires and Dragonborn. So let's run TES5 edit again. We're getting good at this by now. Select none. This time we're going to do Skyrim and Update, not Dawnguard, but Hearthfires. So this is us doing each of these individually. These two always need to be on for cleaning your masters, but you do not want to select Dawnguard for this one. So Hearthfires, go ahead and load that up. It's going to process all of those references and get everything nice and ready for us, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to right-click Hearthfires. We're going to apply filter for cleaning. It's going to go through, do its thing. Shouldn't take very long at all. I don't know if Hearthfires has more entries than Dawnguard, but it doesn't really matter because it took no time. So you right-click, and we are going to remove identical to master records. Hit yes, I'm sure. It's going to process 17,000, remove 184. Awesome. We're going to do undelete and disable references, just like this. It's going to process 17,000 records, undelete 11. Also very cool. And we are done with Hearthfires. So go ahead and exit out. Same drill. Checked, checked. We're going to hit OK. And now we just have Dragonborn remaining. So fire up our old friend TES5 edit again. Deselect all of your plugins. And now do Skyrim, Update, and this time Dragonborn. Not Dawnguard, not Hearthfires. And click OK. It's going to load up everything. This one will probably take a little bit longer, just like Dawnguard, because Dragonborn has a ton of stuff in it. Building reference info. And we are good to go. Okay, and run the same process. We're going to right-click, apply filter for cleaning. It's going to take a quick second to apply that filter. You can see up here that it's processing. If ever you think your TES5 edit has frozen, that's a good place to look. we are going to right-click, remove identical to master, hit yes, I'm absolutely sure, and we have removed 68 records. Pretty cool. Finally, we undelete and disable references, just like that. It's going to process, and we have undeleted 8 records. So Dawnguard definitely won that competition, but undeleting all these records is a really big deal. It's going to make our game much more stable. So we're completely done with that. I'm going to hit X, got both these checked, hit OK, and congratulations, you are ready to start installing your mods. You are done with the pre-installation tutorial. One quick thing I would like to cover with you very quickly, since the next section, is the mod list, I'm going to show you what it's like to download mods with Mod Organizer. I have an example mod up in this window. Let me explain very briefly the functionality of Mod Organizer. So basically, your two big big deals in Mod Organizer are your left pane, which is this window right here, and your right pane, which is this window right here. These are your mods, and these are your plugins. The mod window functions pretty much exactly like Nexus Mod Manager's mod window. It just shows you which mods you've downloaded, which mods you have installed. As you can see, we don't have any mods right now. These are just the default things that come with a vanilla Legendary Edition installation. So the high-res texture packs by Bethesda, Hearthfire's Dragonborn, Dawnguard. So there's no mods here yet. What we're going to do is, also you can see here, no plugins besides the default files. So what we're going to do is we're going to click Better Animal Footsteps. This is just an example. You don't have to do what I'm doing right now. You guys are done. I'm just showing you this for your own edification. So we're going to go to Main Files, Better Animal Footsteps. So when you click Download with Manager, and click that, you'll see that in Mod Organizer, right here, whoops, you got to log in. This is important. I will do that right now. Belmont boy, that is me. Put in my password, log into the Nexus, and you will be able to see that in this tab right here, Downloads, there's our mod download. So what we're going to do is double-click that to install. I believe this one has a faux mod installer, so this nice little faux mod installer will pop up. We can select whatever options we want. For this one, I'll just go ahead and install all. Doesn't really matter. We're just using this as an example. I don't care about whatever this is. So you click that, you click install, it'll install the files, and bam, there's Better Animal Footsteps. So if you check that, now Better Animal Footsteps will install, will be there when you launch your game. Now this one doesn't have a plugin. You can see it's just, we can even click here and see the file tree of what it's installing. It's just sounds. There's no plugins, nothing to worry about in that regard. But that is how you install a mod. So this is where they'll show up. The last thing that I want to show you guys is the Archives tab. Right here, the Archives, this is for handling BSAs. You don't need to know what that is. They're basically just archive files. But what you do need to make sure before you start installing your files is that this box is checked. Have MO manage archives. As long as this box is checked, you do not need to revisit this tab. It should be checked by default, but just make sure just in case. And you are good to go. You are good to start installing your mods, and that will be the next section of the guide. So thank you for following along with me, and I'll see you in the next video.